up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be watching some kids who are addicted to video games. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Do you think that people can actually be addicted to video games? I do. I think you can be addicted to anything. Anything out there, you can be addicted to. So we're going to look at some kids who have addictions with video games on the Dr. Phil Show. That's right. We're going to be working with Dr. Phil today. So this first one is Justin. And let's see Justin's story.
Addiction is killing him. He won't even eat. Justin weighed 160 pounds, and because of his video game addiction, he got down to 110 pounds.
Damn.
Justin told me last year that he prefers the virtual world over the real world.
I'd rather live in a virtual world than a real one.
Do you want to get some help? Figure out if there's a way out of it?
No, I just kind of want to go live in another world.
Wow.
But do you think that's sustainable?
No.
Justin's 23 years old now, has not been able to hold a job since high school. Justin tried to go to college and he wasn't able to pass even one class.
Not even
Justin
one?
admitted that he was passively killing himself. And I said, you know, do you think about
Justin.
suicide? And he said, well, I'm passively killing myself, so it's going to happen sooner or later. Hearing my son say that he was really dying because of his video game addiction was the most frightening thing that I think I've ever heard. I love Justin so much. He's my only baby. I could lose him at any moment.
Well, Justin's stepfather, Graham, says that Justin lives in his computer-generated world so that he can escape living in the real world.
Justin's addiction to gaming could very well be killing him. Left his own device, Justin would game all the time. When he is gaming, he is completely tuned out. It's almost catatonic.
Wow.
We've attempted several times to cut him off from gaming, and then he found other ways to do it. At the end of the day,
Any
I
addict
think
will
Justin
find a way.
is an escapist. If you took gaming away, he would find some way to escape. Gaming has really prevented him from launching as an adult. It's
Yeah.
affected his physical health because he simply is not taking care of himself and not eating. The last time Justin came home to live with us, I think he weighed in at 110 pounds. I'm very worried about Justin's weight loss. The situation with Justin is dire, and it has certainly hit a breaking point for me and Sarah. We've stopped offering financial support to him. Sarah and I have given Justin a series of ultimatums. I'm concerned about cutting Justin off. We've been told that he needs to hit rock bottom, but that's a scary thing because you don't know where rock bottom is for
Yeah.
anybody. The biggest fear that rock bottom is him dying.
Yep.
Okay, now, Sarah, let me start with you. You think this has gotten to the level of actually an addiction?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm not an expert, but it definitely seems like that.
You
to
don't
me.
have to be an expert to see
He's
that.
spending literally every waking hour in front of this computer screen playing this game, right?
And even, I mean, days.
And
wanna know what he
sometimes
plays.
You say he's been up overnight.
Absolutely.
You know, it's 30 hours sometimes at a time, and he's not eating. What's he say about it?
Sometimes he says, I know it's a problem, but I love it. And if I bring it up to him, he will definitely go out of his way to maybe go on a walk with me or something, but that's all. He's very temporary.
So you can pull him away temporarily, and you go walk around the block, but you blink, and he's back in there.
Yeah, he's like, look,
doing
I'm all
this again.
good. And you turn around and he's
Yeah.
back on the game.
And he's dropped out of college. He can't hold a job.
Correct.
And when you say he's lost 50 pounds, he's emaciated now, right? You said that there were times when you would go into his room and the garbage in his room was like 2 feet deep.
When I finally kicked him out of the house, there were 2 feet of garbage that we had to scrape up with a shovel.
You had to shovel his room.
Jesus.
I mean, were there creatures in there? I mean, what?
Moldy burgers, yeah, dishes I hadn't seen for years.
How worried
Rats.
about this are you?
I'm really worried. In the last couple years, it's gotten to a point where I'm worried about him surviving it.
Wow, so even with the video game addiction, you were seeing the obvious signs of addiction. Weight loss, isolation, obvious depression, feelings that you want to just die. And he's going through all of that. And I'm sure there's some underlying reason or issue as to why he wants to escape his real life and stay permanently in his virtual one.
A typical day for me is where I'll usually wake up, grab breakfast, come back down, play games for a couple hours. I spend pretty much all day on video games. I truly think I am addicted to video games. This is my room. These are all my old consoles, usually from 2002 down to the 80s. We have the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, and then the Nintendo GameCube from 2002. My mom does frustrate me sometimes when she takes my games.
You've been playing games all day long.
Sometimes I'll yell at her. When we got into a fight over my games, I was like rampaging around the house, trying to find them, like opening drawers, opening cabinets.
So disrespectful.
Because I was just so upset about it. When I came down here,
ooh, I wish my child would.
She was like yelling at me, trying to say stop, but I just kept going. I stopped going to school 2 days ago. I don't feel like I can do school right now. It's very difficult for me. Why? I have no clue.
You have no clue, really?
I just don't feel school is for me at the moment. My dad and I did get into a physical altercation. I was sitting in the office playing my games, and he came and grabbed me, threw me on the floor, and then I got back up. I tried to run away. He grabbed me, pushed me out the door, tried to get me into his car. He apologized, I apologized, so we're on good terms now. It does bother me that my parents are divorced. It's very upsetting to me, very sad. I have seen my parents fight before. I am bothered by it. It's kind of upsetting, but I would love to see my parents get back together one day. I just don't think it'll ever happen.
We will be flying out of the airport to go to the Dr. Phil show.
You enjoy your time in LA?
So you'll most likely not be willing to go.
Correct.
Oh,
That means
no.
if I try to get you to go in the car, what happens?
Well, remember what Dad tried to get me in the car? He couldn't even get me in the car. I doubt you can as well. Personally, I think I can solve the problem myself. I don't think I need to be on the Dr. Phil show, and I feel
Oh
that
yeah,
this is a
you
waste
can
of
do
my
it
time.
on your own.
I'm not going.
Woo, I wish my kid would talk to me that way. See, when I've never in real life seen a situation like this where a kid refuses to go to school. And I'll always sit there and be like, okay, like that's not a request, like you have to do it. And if my kid were to tell me I'm not going to school, I would say, yes, you are, get in the car, you know? But what do parents do when a kid who's as big as you literally says, I'm not getting in the car? And if you try to physically make me, remember what happened with Dad? Like, I could not imagine having my kid say that to me. Like, at what point does the kid tell the parents what he is going to do or not? And I want to know how they got him to go. Like, because obviously he came, so something happened.
Boy! You think you hard. Here I come, this is my final time. You wasn't expecting this, boy!
My son is addicted and obsessed with violent video games.
I hear your guns.
Video games are my son's #1 priority.
He plays when he wants, where he wants, and for
This
as long
dude's like
as he
5.
wants.
He has stayed on for up to 20 hours. He never comes out of his room to eat with us, but he will yell out from his room, "Peasant, bring me a plate."
Oh
I
no.
request backup immediately!
The two games that he
No.
really likes to play the most are Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite.
Fortnite is
He
okay.
gets
Grand
very
Theft Auto
excited
is
about the
just-
number of
you're
kills
just
because the
committing
more kills you
crimes.
have, the higher you go in the game. It makes him very aggressive.
Empty it!
His favorite game right now is Grand Theft Auto.
Double barrel, bitch!
It is very violent. They rob, shoot, kill, beat,
Let's empty out this!
It's called Grand Theft
and
Auto.
everything they do is demeaning to women.
Jiggly jiggly, I'm coming for the booty.
When my nephew is playing the video
Does he even
games,
know what that
he's
means?
very rude and disrespectful to the people that he's playing online with.
Thank you! You didn't see anything!
He plays the game online with adults, and the language that they use is absolutely
For
horrendous.
children,
Beep,
yeah.
beep. CEO coming
CEO
I'm gonna
coming
kill
through.
you, beat the out of you, and piss off.
And that's transferred over to his mom.
When I tell him, watch your language, he'll tell me to shut the up and
through. Get out!
He will turn over furniture, he breaks dishes, he has basically destroyed his room.
How would you like your death to be? Death by nades?
these violent games have desensitized him from actual pain and death. He has been bullied. I am scared that he will take the behaviors that he's learned in the game and retaliate.
Yeah.
He could become another school shooter.
Yep.
This is something that I feel like I could deal with in 30 seconds or 3 hours, depending how I approach this. But if you're so desperate, why did you not write in? Why did your sister write in? 9 times.
I guess
9
I'm just
times.
complacent to it. I'm used to it.
I feel like
Nope,
I know
I could
what's
never
wrong
be
with
used
him.
to
My
that.
question is, what's wrong with you?
Yep.
You have a 12-year-old child yelling, "Get in here, peasant. Bring me this," and what do?
You do it.
I do it.
You do it. He locks you out of the house in the freezing rain and holds a sign up to the window, "I will let you in if you go get me Starbucks." And you go get it. Now, come on, help me. I'm just an old country boy. You have to help me
I'm just an old
understand
country boy.
how this makes sense.
Make it make
I've been in
sense.
school for the last 18 months, and I'm
I don't
gone
care.
4 nights a week and 12-hour shifts on the weekends. And his dad has had anxiety disorder and
Doesn't mean anything.
heart issues, and so physically and emotionally, he wasn't able to handle him. And so by the time I got home from work, I work 40 hours a week as well.
Oh, wow.
So by the time I got home, I'm just so tired and mentally and physically exhausted
I get
that I would
that.
just do
I
whatever
get
I had to
that.
do to keep the peace.
Okay, now, his dad passed away
September.
in September of last year, right? And from a heart condition, correct?
Yes.
And your son barely shed a tear,
Oh,
right?
wow.
In fact, he said, "Hey, people die. Moving on."
Yes.
What do you think? I mean,
Dang.
you're looking at this. You're there every day. I just met you guys.
The way that he treats her is just deplorable. But I think she was crippled a little bit by her husband and the way that he kept things super secret.
Wow. Okay. So I was going to say maybe these issues stemmed from when his dad died, but they were obviously happening way before that for him to be so desensitized that he didn't shed a tear when his dad died. I know everybody deals with grief different. Absolutely. But as a young kid, you deal with everything by crying. And yeah, that's crazy. So that's something. That's something in itself. I wish my child would speak to me that way. And Dr. Phil is right. Like, we know what's wrong with the kid. What is wrong with the parent? Because that's the adult. That's the person who is in charge of the kid, who's supposed to teach the kid, no, you do not refer to me as a freaking peasant. Like, no, never. And all the cussing and... I mean, Grand Theft Auto is an adult game. It's for adults. It's literally GTA, Grand Theft Auto. That's the name of a crime. You literally just go around committing crimes. You know, it's made for adults. It is not made for children. And, like, this kid is probably in some, like, live streamers' videos, like, cussing people out. And they're like, look at this kid. Like, he just said, "Jiggly, jiggly, I'm coming for that booty." I don't even think he knows what that means.
Son Nico is absolutely addicted to his video games.
Let me get the Shrika 6ix9ine. Let me get the Shriek. No!
He'll be on this device for 17 hours a day sometimes. I try to get Nico off video games, tell him that he's limited. He can only have 5 hours a day, and his answer is, oh, no, that's not going to happen. And it's a fight. I asked you hours ago to clean up that mess. What's going on?
Now! Nico is the most spoiled child.
Nico!
Get out!
Stop it!
Why is he naked, though?
Right the now! Nico can get so angry, he will destroy everything in the house, anything in his path, anything that Nico can get his hands on will get destroyed.
What is my computer? He gets what he wants by bullying us and terrorizing this house. He'll pull his hair. Stop it, Nico.
I'd be like, I don't care. Fine, pull your hair.
Devices. Nico, your mouth. I take him off the internet and he immediately starts throwing things and breaking things, and it's cost us thousands of dollars replacing everything that he's broken. He'll bang his controller. If I don't give him what he wants, I'm gonna break this phone. Nico is not in school right now. He wants to be a YouTuber when he gets older, and he doesn't need school. I couldn't force Nico to get up and go. It was impossible. He's a very large child. I think Nico takes advantage of me more now because he knows that I'm disabled in a wheelchair and there's not much I can do. He'll strike out and he'll hit me. Physically, I'm no match for him. He's a big kid and I have one leg. There's not much I can do.
That is messed up.
I feel our family is falling apart. We desperately need help to get everything back on track.
It's absolutely out of control, and I see it only getting worse.
I am about to break your nose like I did.
Like I did?
How did it get this way where we have a child running the house?
How?
What do I do to stop it? I've taken things away. I've had my nose broken 3
Holy
times. I've taken him to doctors. I have tried everything.
Dad, what are you doing about this?
When he starts getting into a rage and getting violent, I go upstairs in my studio, my music room, to avoid it because he winds up getting physical with me.
Okay, that is screwed up that the dad just ditches the mom, the disabled mom with one leg, downstairs to deal with this crazy kid on her own. I'm the most angry at the dad in this situation. Like, that's messed up. She needs you. She would need you even if even if Nico was completely normal and she wasn't disabled. She would still need you. But, like, she needs you much more now that she's in a wheelchair and the kid has broken her nose 3 times and threatens to break her nose again. That is abuse. And he's just going to get bigger and bigger and worse. And he will end up in prison for killing somebody. Or at least assault. I mean, someone who can break their mom's nose over and over and over won't be afraid to do something to anybody else. So that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing a lot more Dr. Phil shows. I love Dr. Phil. So, yeah, just get ready for some more, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.